Every year I try to get out of making this video, and every year I get that email from my Armenian manager that reminds me of the bargain we made. Either I make this video, or he releases that video.
Need my immortal Korosho. Oh, stop it!
Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Yuri Novwomen, and these are my predictions for the 2018 Hong Kong Film Awards. I need to make a big disclaimer right up front. I didn't see a significant number of the nominated films, so I'll mention that whenever it's relevant. And I'm including a list of the nominees in the description. DNS stands for Did Not See. You'll see that a lot. I'm also not going to talk about every single category, because, second disclaimer, I really don't care about awards. As often as not, the whole silly enterprise comes off as some kind of circle jerk and formal wear. For Best Film from the Mainland and Taiwan, which is not to suggest that they are two distinct countries, I'm not going there, I have to admit that I didn't see 4 out of 5 of the nominated films. I have heard good things about The Great Buddha and The Bold, the Corrupt, and the Beautiful. Youth and Duckweed are probably also very good, I just haven't seen them. The only one I did see was Wolf Warrior 2, which is likely to carry the award because it made the most money, it's very patriotic, and it's a mainland film. More on that later. The award for Best Visual Effects is likely to go to a movie that I didn't see. It could be Journey to the West, The Demons Strike Back, or The Thousand Faces of Dun Jia, or Wukong. I did see Shockwave and The Founding of an Army, but since the other 3 movies are more effects-driven, I assume one of them is going to win. I'd like to see the award for Best Action Choreography go to Paradox, for one simple reason. Louis Koo was surprisingly convincing in his action scenes. That's just my opinion, but it was also the most impressive thing about that movie for me. I would be very happy if it went to any of the other nominees, though, so I don't really have a strong opinion, especially since I didn't see The Thousand Faces of Dun Jia or Wukong. I only saw 3 of the 5 films in the Best New Director category, and of those, I hope The Brink wins it. I enjoyed it more than 29+1, which was directed by someone who actually already has a lot of stage direction experience. And Chapman Toe's The Empty Hands is a great example of attempted art. I hope the award for Best Cinematography goes to Paradox. Not because of that film, but because cinematographer Kenny Tse also did the cinematography for The Brink, which was, for me, the most cinematographically impressive film of the year. But if he wins it for Paradox, it's all good. Philip Keung has 2 nominations for Best Supporting Actor for Concerto of the Bully and Shockwave. Even though he killed me in one of those movies, I'll still be glad if he wins. If Gordon Lam Ka-tung wins for his performance in Paradox, I won't be mad either. Paul Chun was entertaining in Love Off the Cuff, but I just don't see him carrying it off. Still, I think he's got a better chance than Yasuaki Kurata, who, like Philip Keung, also has 2 nominations, God of War and The Empty Hands. He's good, but he's Japanese. I don't see it happening. The award for Best Supporting Actress has a lot of contenders. Of the films I saw, I'd have to pick Joyce Cheng for 29+1. I wish I could say that I don't know why Lorene Tang was nominated for Yuppie Fantasia 3, but I think we all know. Do a Google image search for her name. The reason that bugs me is because I thought Hedwig Tam's performance in the same movie was much more impressive. Mostly because Hedwig Tam acted in that movie. I only saw 2 of the 5 films in the Best Actor category, so I'm really at a disadvantage. I would be happy if Ronald Cheng won for Concerto of the Bully, even if I didn't see it. I wouldn't mind if Andy Lau won it for Shockwave, but let's face it, I have a pretty big personal stake in that one. Speaking of which, I guess the commenter who said that Donnie Yen was probably going to win Best Actor is wrong, because he's not even nominated. In the Best Actress category, I didn't see the movies that Sylvia, Chang, and Teresa are nominated for. I'm sure they're good in their roles, and I hope to see those films in the near future. Stephy Tang got a lot of attention for her performance in The Empty Hands, but I didn't care for it. Zhou was typically very good in Our Time Will Come, but honestly, I hope Chrissie Chau wins for 29+1, because she was just really good. Her growth as an actress continues, and I feel like she really deserves the award. Even if she doesn't win it this time, I'm pretty confident that she'll win it at some point in the future. The award for Best Director is a tough one, partially because it's so closely tied to Best Film. I liked 29+1, but I don't think it's on the same level as some of these other films. And I really didn't care for the director's meretricious self-insertion, that's not a euphemism, at the end of the film. I was in Shockwave, so there's objectivity drawn and quartered, but I would be happy to see Herman Yao win Best Director for being the person who finally, I think, did a local blockbuster the right way. All that said, I think An Hoi will probably win it for Our Time Will Come, and the reasons for that are best explained by talking about the award for Best Film. I'd be obviously really glad if Shockwave won, but I doubt it's gonna happen. I'd be mortified if Chasing the Dragon wins, but I doubt it will happen. Look, here's the thing. In 2016, Best Film went to 10 years, most likely because the people who voted on it were told not to award it anything by people who speak Mandarin. It backfired monumentally. Last year, Teresa won Best Film, and 1/3 of that was directed by Jevons Au, who also directed a segment in 10 years. There were probably phone calls. This year, An Hoi has made an extremely good, but also very China-friendly film. Our Time Will Come is set in Hong Kong, but it's an inherently patriotic film, even though it's not a propaganda movie. So for reasons that may not actually have much to do with films, I expect Our Time Will Come to win Best Film this year. But I'm not mad because it's An Hoi and it's a really good movie, and Zhou Jun is excellent and Eddie Pang is excellent. It's a really good movie, and on that merit it certainly should win, but I think the subject matter is probably going to give it a little extra push. And remember, being China-friendly doesn't necessarily guarantee you're going to win anything, because Chasing the Dragon panders to the China market so hard, it's at risk of a stroke. And as a movie, it really can't hold a candle to Our Time Will Come on any level. So there you have it, my contractually obligated Hong Kong Film Awards video. I hope I'm right about no more than 40% of my picks. I'm off to try and get the taste of mocha prostitutki out of my mouth. Uvidimsia!